beautiful pregnant friends. Welcome to a 60-minute prenatal practice. We're going to get started. If you have a bolster at home, you can keep it close by. I realize not everyone owns a bolster, so we could either get crafty, do it yourself, rolling up a blanket, or you can stack a bunch of pillows, for example, on an incline. That helps you come into Supta Baddha Konasana. So what we'd like is a restorative back bend. This isn't like just lying down in bed. We'd like to place ourselves a little bit more mindfully so that we can receive the benefits of the back bend and still get to relax at the same time. So I would stack up some height, pillows is a good idea. You can stack a bunch of pillows on an incline so that as you lie back, you're left with a long spine and an open front body. So if I didn't have a bolster, again, I would get creative with a blanket rolled up like a burrito, like a tube. And then I would maybe put a belt around it to keep it that way, and I would stack it on an incline against a couple of pillows. I can lift the bolster higher up so that it's a less deep back bend, just like I can lower the blocks down, the pillows down, let's say, so that that rolled up blanket or whatever you're using is along the floor, making it a deeper back bend. Point being, it might take a few attempts, but eventually you'll find something that works for you at home, or honestly, if you're earlier in your pregnancy, you could invest in ordering a bolster online. I'm sure you could find a bolster online. It really is like a handy prop when it comes to your practice, your restorative practice, your pre- and postnatal practice, or just your practice in general. So I like the bolster lying on the floor. I bring a slight space. C'est à peu près la distance d'un poignet entre mon bassin et mon support. Et là, je me couche sur le support avec la plante des pieds ensemble. Les genoux, les cuisses qui tendent vers l'extérieur. Ici, soit placer les bras chaque côté, les mains font face au plafond. Soit allez-y, soulevez les coudes à la hauteur des épaules et fermez vos yeux. Et assurez-vous que toute la colonne soit allongée. I don't want it to feel like there's bumps in my support. Ideally, a nice long line with the spine. And an opening that feels quite even across the front of the body. Make sure that the neck is neither too deep in flexion. I don't want to touch my chest with my chin, but neither do I want my chin lifted to the ceiling. So long neck, le cou allongé et dans le prolongement de la colonne. Et éventuellement les yeux fermés. So it can be that you're reclined onto your blankets, your pillows, and you're less deep in the back bend than I've chosen to be. So let's just imagine what that would look like. And you can organize this somewhere at home, like against your couch or against your headboard in your bed, for example. Again, something stable so it doesn't feel like you're tipping. If you're, suffering from heartburn or anything that makes the deep back bend less comfortable, then just lift yourself up higher. But you should find somewhere that feels pretty sweet to be for a few breaths. You could take your left hand, place it on your chest, and your right hand, bring it to your own belly. to work a two-part breath. Inhale towards the bottom of your lungs. So you feel the hand on your belly lift or respond to the inhale. Then the hand on the chest. Exhale, the hand on the chest falls, and then the hand on the belly. Une prochaine inspiration. On inspire un peu plus profondément. On dépasse le bas des poumons et on inspire jusqu'au bas-ventre. So down towards the depths of your belly. Inhale, fill the hand on your belly, fill the hand on your chest, and then exhale, the chest falls, the belly empties. Next inhale, keep on breathing a little more deeply into the body. And if you feel to exhale out through your mouth, go ahead. Expirez peut-être par la bouche ouverte, expirez un son, un soupir. Prochaine inspiration, inspirez jusqu'au plancher pelvien, vers les os des fessiers, vers le pubis. Et expirez par le nez ou par la bouche ouverte. Again, inhale, beyond the low lungs, the low belly, beyond the pelvic floor. Inhale, down to around your mid-thighs. Exhale, empty out. Inhale. Even deeper still, try inhaling down towards your ankles, your feet, your toes. Exhale, empty your body. Last few breaths. Try inhaling beyond your ankles, your feet, your toes. Inhale right down into the ground. Exhale out through your nose or a sigh, a yawn, a sound, anything you need. Gardez respiration. Inhale even deeper into the ground, deeper and deeper into the ground. Exhale, soften into the support of your blanket or bolsters, whatever is holding you up. Next, inhale. As deep as you can, inhale beyond your feet, beyond the ground, all the way down towards the center of the earth. These are big and transformative breaths in. And big, satisfying breaths out that help you let go of any signs of stress or strain or fatigue that you notice in your body or your mind. Vous pouvez ramener les bras à chaque côté du corps ou encore les coudes à la hauteur des épaules si vous êtes un peu plus loin dans l'extension de la colonne. Encore quelques respirations ici. Notez les effets de votre respiration. Notice the effects of your breath just this far into practice. In your body, also in your being, your mind and your inner body. And as breathing deeply help you feel more connected, more grounded, more relaxed, or just a little bit more present. C'est le moment idéal d'observer et de connecter. Vous pouvez bouger les doigts don't feel like you need to modify, say you're in your first trimester or beginning of the second trimester, even if it's comfortable for you just to take your knees, let's say knees hip width distance, shoulder distance, you don't need to open them wider, then yeah, no worries, you can just come down to your child's pose as usual. As the belly grows, it becomes obvious that we need to modify. So just to say, you'll know when you need to modify. On écarte les genoux un peu plus larges lorsque c'est nécessaire pour créer assez d'espace pour le ventre. Front déposé au sol. If you have a block and you notice your head is far from the floor, you could use a block. You could improvise with a folded up blanket or towel or book. You know, we can get creative with our home practice when it comes to props. I have the skin of my forehead that drags down towards my nose. And I'm thinking about softening my hips back in space, like anchor your hips, your seat down and back. Begin to lengthen your spine. Peut-être rouler le front gauche à droite ici. Et pareil avec les hanches, si ça vous fait du bien, on peut basculer les hanches gauche à droite. Et on peut absolument expirer par la bouche ouverte. Poussez dans les mains, inspirez la table to your hands and your knees. So these movements look really simple, but they feel really good. Inhale, you would arch your back, lift your sitting bones. Exhale, you can round your spine to the extent that's comfortable. You know that if you can't round the lower back as much because the belly's big, then try rounding the upper back. Move more where you feel there's space to move. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. That's the basic movement. Vous pouvez rester dans la table. On a le droit d'avancer les hanches en inspirant, une posture qui ressemble le chien redressé ou qui est le chien redressé. En expirant, on peut même rentrer les orteils en dessous, on peut écarter les genoux un peu plus pour créer plus d'espace pour le ventre. Bougez la tête vers le bas du dos pour étirer la taille chaque côté. Or start to move in any directions, for example, circle the hips. Or pause somewhere where you feel needs attention. And say close your eyes. And just feel the directions that your body would like you to move. You can slow it all down or speed it up. You can exhale wide through your mouth. As you're ready to, do tuck your 10 toes, hands at shoulder distance, your knees under your hips. I tuck my toes to lift the hips up into downward facing dog. Il est important juste que les mains ne glissent pas. Il est aussi important de garder les doigts écartés et enracinés. You're lengthening your fingers down into the ground, lengthening your arms. Go ahead, lengthen your spine, the sides of the body, and begin to lengthen the legs. You can relax your head in between your upper arm bones. You can keep your knees more bent. For example, if you find your back is rounding as you lengthen your legs, pliez les genoux pour vous aider à ramener le poids ici dans le bas du corps. Try inhale to the top of a push-up. Okay, and you'll see how the plank feels as your pregnancy progresses. You could do it on your knees, or you could avoid the plank if it just feels off. So from a high plank, you're going to lower your hips with your toes tucked under and come into an up dog like a mat med. Dig your heels back. You can move nice and slow back through the knees to lift the hips. So it's like a movement like a wave to the top of the push-up, la planche haute. J'expire en inspirant. Je descends mes hanches pour étirer la colonne et toute l'avant du corps. Les doigts toujours écartés, enracinés, et les cuisses qui ne touchent pas au sol. Soulevez les jambes du sol, passez par les genoux. L'idée, c'est de commencer à échauffer la colonne et les articulations majeures du corps. Donc, je continue, inspirez, planche haute, expirez. Inspirez, option même de pointer les orteils. Puis, je peux passer par les genoux ou pas. And if you'd rather, inhale, come all the way forward, right into upward facing dog. You can just move slowly so that the stretch for the front body unfolds gently and gradually. And I can always move through my knees. So you're going to always listen to your body before and above my instructions. My instructions are just suggestions. If it feels good, you can come forward all the way like a wave into up dog. Avoid locking the elbows. Press the fingers into the floor. Exhale, downward facing dog. Drop to your knees. And you can come to sit if you're, you can come to sit cross-legged. The transitions don't need to be pretty. You just have to get from A to B, so it's okay if the transitions or the spaces between the postures take you some time. You could have a blanket. This could be a towel. It could be something really simple. The idea would be that if the knees were higher up, elevating your seat will help you to lift the spine. Donc, option de venir s'asseoir sur un peu de hauteur. Si ça vous aide à trouver les genoux à la hauteur des hanches. Let's say your left leg is folded in front of your right leg. Doesn't really matter what side we start with though. I'm going to bring my right hand to the floor, lift my left arm up. As I bend my right elbow any amount, I find a lovely side stretch. Okay, donc je garde les fessiers et les cuisses enracinées. En inspirant, je remonte. Main gauche au sol, soulevez bras droit en pliant coude gauche, flexion sur le côté. So here's a seemingly simple movement. Inhale, exhale, I lean into it. I'll give you a few more ideas on how you could move here. As we lift one arm, you can bend your elbow, potentially circle the arm. You could touch the hand to the back of the skull. You could even wrap your arm around, hook your opposite hip crease. So just saying you can move a little bit faster side to side, slower side to side. On peut rajouter des cercles, des mouvements circulaires avec le bras soulevé. Vous pouvez même faire l'exercice avec les yeux fermés. Pour que vous restez dans le ressenti, puis c'est vraiment en écoutant votre corps que vous saurez, vous allez savoir comment bouger. You will know how to move as you simply listen in. So notice that as you do, maybe quiet the mind and keep your gaze shifted inwards. You do feel exactly where it feels stiff or stuck, and you do know exactly how to move. Feel free to, move your head in different directions, stretch your neck, some side to side warming up. And it's a bit of a twist as well, flexion sur le côté et un petit twist, poitrine qui tourne vers le plafond. One more time, right and left. Inhale lifts you up, extend your right leg, your left foot into your inner right thigh. You can keep that height underneath your seat. If you find once again that your knees are lifted or that your back is round, that you're sitting behind yourself rather, you can keep the height underneath your hips. We'll take Janu Shirshasana with a twist, main droite vers l'intérieur de la jambe droite. Bras gauche vers le ciel, option de toucher l'arrière de la crâne ici. On essaie d'allonger la taille chaque côté. Left hip, left seat still grounded. Inhale, come on up, place your left hand to the floor, more or less underneath your left shoulder. Joyful pose, you can press your hips forward and do what you like with your right arm, right hand. We can even bend the elbow and touch in between the shoulder blades. You're going to move slowly into and out of the back bend and move only to the extent that's comfortable. Switch legs, extend the left, bend the right knee. Start with the side bend, left hand to the ground. Inhale, reach your right arm high. Exhale, find a twist, the side stretch, and you can play with what your right hand does. Peut-être toucher l'arrière de la tête, déposer la tête dans la main. J'essaie d'allonger la taille chaque côté. J'ai aussi les cuisses, les fessiers enracinés. Counter pose, lift your right arm high, right hand to the ground. Move slowly into the back bend. Joyful pose, you press your hips forward. Yeah, so moving gently, slowly into the side body stretch, front body stretch. You would exhale to sit your hips back down to the ground. Cross your legs. Sit up onto some height if you need. Need means that, it makes you feel more comfortable with the spine able to be more lifted, more long. Go ahead, close your eyes. Menton incliné vers la poitrine, toujours optimiste. J'essaie d'allonger la colonne sans arrondir le dos, sans trop arquer le bas du dos. Adoucissez, détendez les muscles du visage. It doesn't have to be our practice to sing Om, so you don't have to. If you would like to though, it really is a lovely vibration and growing babies love to hear it. We could open our practice bringing our hands together, fingers touch. Invitation to inhale the sound A, O, M. One time. Inspirez pour Aum. Allez-y. Transitions don't have to be beautiful at a certain point, they might not be. Exhale, lift your hips, come into downward facing dog. I'm going to bring my right hand towards my left hand. J'amène le pouce droit vers le pouce gauche. Et en inspirant, je soulève ma jambe droite vers l'arrière, vers le haut. Chien inversé à trois pattes. Donc, étire you can step your right foot in between your hands. Okay, so the left heel is lifted on top of the left set of toes. Go ahead, climb yourself up. Your hands on your right thigh, back leg straight and strong. Send your arms back behind you. J'ai le genou droit plié 90 degrés et la jambe arrière toujours plus allongée, toujours plus forte. Si besoin, si vous ressentez le besoin d'amener les pieds un peu plus larges, allez-y. J'ai l'option également d'entrelacer les doigts derrière le bas du dos, plier les coudes. So we're working injured in some standing postures. You can breathe really quite full, in and out through your nose. If that causes anxiety or if that's not accessible, breathe through your mouth. If you'd like, climb your hands through your thigh or reach your arms straight up for a high lunge, high lift. Inhale. Yeah, arms reach up, back leg straight and strong. Warrior 2, as you're ready, pivot your left heel to the floor. Heel toe your right foot more center so that your heels are more or less in the same line, les talons alignés. Bras parallèles au sol. Le regard le long de votre majeur droit. À vous de plier le genou droit et aussi d'égaliser les hanches. Press strong through the outside edge of your back foot. Inhale, dance yourself up, right arm high. So you're still rolling your right thigh out and open from the hip. Lengthen your right leg, please. On peut rapprocher le pied arrière, ramener les bras parallèles au sol. Let the belly incline to the ground. Straight-legged triangle. So you could think of your belly button pointing on a diagonal more to the floor. I'm not trying to open from my belly. That would tweak my back. I wouldn't feel so good in the lower back. Mais je me permets de créer un bas du dos très large. Le ventre, le nombril qui pointe plus vers le sol. Si vous avez un support chez vous, mettons, you could turn over a flower pot or use like a straight up stack of books or whatever you can work with, whatever you have to work with. I could set my right hand into that support so that I'm more focused on lengthening the right leg. I'm trying to keep my right leg long. Avec la jambe droite allongée, j'ai vraiment peu de poids dans la main droite. Option de soulever le bras gauche vers le ciel. Go ahead on an inhale, push your feet down, come on back to warrior 2. Look down your right middle finger, lengthen your right leg, hands to your hips, your 10 toes will point to your left, all in the same direction. Pieds parallèles, inspirez, je soulève l'avant du corps en expirant, flexion vers l'avant, je place les mains au sol et là j'avance les mains, les bras. So imaginez-vous dans le chien inversé. You walk your hands further forward. Yeah, and picture yourself in down dog. Get some good lengthening happening down the backs of your thighs. A few more breaths. Flexion vers l'avant. And keeping lots and lots of space around the belly. It doesn't feel like I'm compressing, there's nothing in my way. I'm lengthening. Head relaxed still between the arms. And the legs are strong. Take a few more breaths. Marchez les mains en dessous les épaules et voyagez les deux mains vers l'avant du tapis. Je place les mains vers l'intérieur du pied droit pour reculer le pied droit vers le chien inversé. So you're creating space in your transitions Space for the belly as that need arises. If you're earlier on, you might not need or feel the need to modify much of anything. I take my left thumb towards my right thumb, and I inhale, lift the left leg high. You can keep your hands shoulder distance if you're still comfortable stepping through, foot in between the hands. I'll exhale my left foot outside my left hand. So I'm building a lunge. No compression around the belly. There's lots of space. If I need to go wider, I go wider. If I need to lift the torso, I do that. I'd like to find a 90-degree angle in the front knee. The back heel lifted on top of the back set of toes. Reach the arms back or go ahead, interweave the fingers. Vissez talon gauche au sol. Travaillez les muscles des fessiers, autant fessier droit, jambe arrière que la jambe avant. If you need to keep your hands laced, fingers laced on your front thigh, no worries. And thinking about pressing the front of the right thigh towards the back of the thigh. Face is soft and the breath is right there with you. On an inhale, lift yourself up, soulevez les bras. C'est de rentrer le bassin en dessous. Gardez le talon arrière assez haut par-dessus les orteils. Stretch up. Exhale, you can land your warrior two as you're ready. Pivot your right heel to the floor. Left foot, heel toe, more center. So you're into warrior two, hips level, lower the hips. Stretch your arms apart, soften your gaze. Left arm lifts on the inhale. Continuez à plier dans le genou avant. Continuez à pousser dans l'extérieur du pied arrière. Dépliez genou gauche, talon orteil, rapprochez le pied arrière. Les deux jambes allongées le plus possible en expirant. Trouvez votre support, main gauche sur le support plus ou moins en dessous l'épaule ou placez la main sur l'avant-jambe gauche. J'essaie d'élargir toute la surface arrière du corps, surtout autour du bas du dos. Je pousse, je visse les deux talons au sol. Les muscles qui travaillent, c'est l'avant des cuisses, les quadriceps. Je dégage et tire l'arrière des cuisses. Less and less weight into your left hand. So the twist is coming more from the ribs. 2-3 more breaths. You just avoid locking in the left knee, and we're exploring that straight, strong left leg. Push your feet down on an inhale. Come on up. Warrior two, bend your left knee. Allongez la jambe gauche, soulevez les orteils. On amène les mains à nouveau sur les hanches. Inspirez, ouvrez la poitrine, expirez. Flexion vers l'avant. À vous de placer vos mains au sol, en dessous les épaules. So your hands are on the floor or onto some kind of height. Keeping the right hand to the ground, left hand lower back. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, sans bouger le bassin, rentrez dans un twist. Avec l'option de soulever bras gauche vers le ciel. Une torsion twist pour la colonne. Je ramène main gauche au sol. Je place la main droite dans le bas du dos. Inspirez, allongez. Expirez, twist. Peut-être soulever le bras droit ou pas. Just try not to shift the hips. Few more breaths. Stabilize in the lower body. Lengthen the sides of the body, deepen the twist with your breath. Hands to the floor. Heel toe your feet closer together. And go ahead, bring yourself down into a squat. J'ai les pieds, les talons, juste un peu plus larges que les hanches. If you have some height, you can place that height underneath your seat. Like, again, stack of books or whatever you have. If you like the supported squat, it's a nice way to work. It's okay if the heels are lifted from the floor. In that case, you could even do something like this, side to side. I lift one heel and opposite set of toes, and I kind of just bring my center of gravity low to the ground. And a little bit massage the joints of the lower body. Next option would be squat away, heels on the floor, knees pointing out in the same direction as the toes, and it feels or should feel comfortable around the belly. 3 more breaths. So simple or seemingly simple postures today, but we don't underestimate the benefit of just taking the time to connect with the body and the breath. A little bit of work can go a long way. Hands to the floor. You lift your hips, separate your feet, and you'll walk your hands back to the top of your mat and step back to downward facing dog, please. Inhale to the top of the push-up. Okay, exhale. We can either do the flow like we did before, lifting the chest, lowering the hips, and if you like, moving back through the knees. On peut aussi essayer chaturanga. On peut continuer à pratiquer chaturanga. Inhale, top of the push-up, the modified flow. Knees come to the ground. I bend my elbows, and then it depends how big the belly is. It depends on a few factors, but belly doesn't touch the floor. Once that's no longer comfortable, you can move through the knees. Downward facing dog. You could come forward, inhale, top of the push-up. Keep the plank, bend your elbows, come down no more than halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, you can practice your flow like business as usual. Bend your knees, step your feet towards your hands. Okay, here, as you halfway lift, you can use some height, like props. You can take your hands to your shins, exhale, fold to the extent that's comfortable. All the way up as you inhale. As you reach up, interlace your fingers, release your index. Les pieds soient à la largeur des hanches. On peut garder les pieds collés, les grosses orteils collés, talons espacés. I'm going to practice Ardha Chandrasana. Ground your heels, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, move your body up and over to your right side. Yeah, and this is a pose I would practice pregnant or not. But pregnant, it feels really good. Get grounded in your legs. Press your heels down. Stretch all that side body all the way down towards your lower back right side. You stretch between your ribs, left side, and you really open also across the shoulders. If you prefer to go grab your left wrist, ça marche aussi en attrapant le poignet gauche. Gardez le ventre engagé, disons la ceinture abdominale, où on peut penser à ramener le nombril ou le bébé vers la colonne, juste pour que vous n'êtes pas affaissé dans le bas du dos, on reste assez large et supporté au niveau du dos. So you still have abdominal muscles under growing belly, and you can use them. Inhale, push your feet down, come on up. Exhale, take a pause out of that longer hold. Switch the lace of your fingers if you like. And you root to rise, push your feet down, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, start to move up and over to your left. Vissez les talons au sol. Dans les jambes, serrez les muscles contre les os. Peut-être allez-y, attrapez le poignet droit avec la main gauche. Peut-être fermez les yeux à nouveau. Vous restez dans le ressenti. Et en ressentant qu'est-ce qui se passe à l'intérieur de votre corps. As you listen, as you feel what's happening in your body, you know exactly how to move. You know exactly what slight adjustments to make. Same story, I'm not into my lower back flexibility. Baby your belly towards the spine. Push your feet down, inhale, lift up. Place your hands to your lower back. I point my fingers down, hands at the back of the pelvis. Push your feet down, inhale, lift the back of the ribs. This is what I would do like anytime when it comes time. Anytime you put your baby down, it's a nice counter pose. So you could dig your heels into the floor. Inhale, lift the back ribs. Exhale, move your shoulder blades, your elbows closer together behind you. Feel an opening around the throat. 3 more breaths. Gardez les jambes fortes. Inspirez, poussez dans les pieds, remontez. Expirez la montagne, peut-être les bras à chaque côté. Ou encore une main sur votre cœur, l'autre main sur votre ventre. Your mountain pose can be a little bit more like organic. There can be more of a sway to it. You don't have to lock your knees. You don't have to stress or strain in any way. And feel the breath flowing through the back of the body, the sides of the body, the front of the body. I'm going to soften the knees. So you're standing at the top of your mat. Bend your knees to step your left foot back. It's warrior one. Je recule pied gauche. Pied gauche dans la voie gauche, aligné avec la hanche gauche. Pied droit dans la voie droite, aligné avec la hanche droite. This one is a fantastic leg strengthening pose, hip opening pose. And push into the back edge, outside edge of the left foot. Work to bend your front knee 90 degrees. I'm still not into my lower back flexibility. Bring your baby, your belly back towards your spine. Arms reach up. Invitation to take your left arm under your right. Bras gauche enroulé en dessous bras droit. Le guerrier est dans les jambes. L'aigle dans les bras. Main sur épaule opposée. Croisez les pouces ou amenez les mains ensemble et soulevez les coudes. You can lift your elbows up. Lift your chin to open the throat, though we're not dropping the head back. Yes, squeeze the forearms together. Inhale, reach up, warrior one. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Same pose as before, heels in the same line. Bring your right elbow onto your right thigh. This time you can keep your right knee bent. Bending the right knee, inhale, exhale, option to hook your left fingers around your lower back. Hook your inner right thigh. Try to lower the hips as you keep your back leg straight and strong. And you share your weight between your 2 feet. Yeah, a few more breaths to keep the lower back feeling spacious. Across the shoulder starts to feel a little bit more open. If you feel to straighten your right arm, go ahead. And then back to warrior two. Bring your feet closer together, heel toe, heel toe. I'm gonna open my toes, so I'm not feet parallel. It's like a wide-legged malasana or wide-legged squat. Rotation vers l'extérieur des 2 cuisses. Mains ensemble devant la poitrine. Go ahead, get nice and low with the hips. And just explore this. Thighs roll apart, thighs roll open, that is. Back of the pelvis drops. Donc le dos est droit. If I'm looking from the side, I track my knees out over my toes. I'm trying not to lean forward, and I'm trying not to do that arch of the back thing. A little bit lower, a little bit lower, a little bit lower. 5 deep breaths. Inhale, nose. Exhale, you can stick out your tongue. This kind of work will be helpful when it comes time to birthing. Inhale. Exhale. Encore 3 respirations. You can inhale, nose. Exhale like a sound or a sigh. Get a little bit lower. Elbows can come to your thighs. You can shift it side to side. Big breath in, exhale loud. Good. Push your feet down, lift your hips up. You're taking a wide-legged forward fold. Walk your hands forward once again. Imagine yourself in downward facing dog. Walk your hands under your shoulders and then to the top of your mat. Les mains à l'intérieur du pied droit. Chien inversé. Downward facing dog, you don't have to, but you're welcome to flow. That could be inhale all the way to up dog. It could be high plank, chaturanga, or through your knees. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Stay for 3 breaths. 2. On 1, bend your knees. Step, if you're still comfortable hopping, you could totally hop to the top of your mat. Inhale halfway, exhale all the way. Push your feet down, reach up. Exhale, hands back through your chest into that kind of comfortable mountain. That's maybe not totally still. It's not at all rigid. It can move. You can dance with yourself and with growing baby. Other side, bend your knees en pliant les genoux. Je garde le pied gauche en avant cette fois-ci. Je recule le pied droit. Talon droit au sol. Plus de poids. Plie encore plus contre l'extérieur du pied droit. Essayez d'étirer, de venir ouvrir toute la surface avant du corps. Peut-être venez passer this time right arm under the left. J'enroule bras droit en dessous, bras gauche. Main sur épaule opposée. Croisez les pouces ou les mains ensemble. The body is moving in every direction. Make the focus of the chest lifting up. And the focus of the lower back is lengthening or dropping a little bit more. Left knee lunges, right foot presses down. Feels good. Inhale, reach up. Warrior 1, open up. Warrior 2, talon aligné. Sur une inspiration, maybe we lift it up. Exhale, take your left elbow onto your left thigh. I'm working to bend my left knee et j'évite de reculer le fessier gauche. J'essaie plutôt de le rentrer en dessous. So our standing postures are great leg strengthening, lower body strengthening, but also great hip opening postures. That right arm can pass behind your lower back. And you hook your upper left thigh with your right hand. Maybe even press your left arm, forearm against the inside of your leg. A few more breaths. Gardez les orteils, relax. La respiration profonde. Focusez à garder toute la surface arrière du corps large. Come on back, warrior 2. Closer together with your feet. I'm going to bring my elbows like cactus arms, inhale, and bend my knees to lower the hips. So keep your upper back lifted. Exhale, you can let go of all tension in the face. You can close your eyes, come back inside. Get lower into the fire with the hips. Maybe rock it side to side. It's okay, you can allow yourself to look a little bit silly. To make some maybe sounds you're not used to making. Lower and lower still till your elbows touch your thighs. Try some of those sounds. Inhale. It could be exhale, just a sigh out through the mouth. Again, breath in. Exhale. One more time. Lift your hips once again, heels out, feet parallel. You can walk your hands forward. You can keep your hands under your shoulders. If it's comfortable to walk your hands back, long back into your deeper forward fold, go ahead. Then you can compromise by placing your hands onto some support. This is again like once deep forward bending becomes less comfortable, less accessible, I can get the good hamstring stretch that I love with my hands on some height. Feet press down, chest moves forward, the legs are strong. Pour vrai, je travaille mes jambes et j'étire ou je dégage l'arrière des cuisses. Walk your hands to the top of your mat. Step your right foot back and take downward facing dog. You could take one flow if you wanted to. That could be all the way to your up dog. It could be high plank inhale, through the knees or chaturanga exhale. Pigeon pose. Soulevez la jambe droite vers l'arrière, vers le haut. Expirez, guidez le genou droit vers le poignet droit. Allongez jambe gauche. Pigeons, you can take a towel, a blanket, and slide it underneath your right side seat. So you can support the negative space underneath your right hip. Or if you have like your burrito blanket, one way that I like to work is sitting onto a rolled up blanket. You know, I like the more bolster like the better. Je viens m'asseoir sur mon support pour ensuite reculer jambe gauche. So you have the bolster, the blanket underneath the front of the left hip and the outer right thigh. Le dessus du pied arrière au sol. Feel free to work it like a back bend. Stay lifted, for example. You can walk yourself up. I'm not leaning over to the right side, and I'm not opening the left foot. I keep the left toes pointed straight back. If it feels accessible to reach your arms up, you could play with that. You could touch the back of the head. You could cactus the arms. Anything that feels nice as a front body opening. You don't have to exaggerate it, the lift or the opening. Just allow yourself to explore. Maybe the spaces that feel more tight to begin. And then bring a balance by walking your hands forward. So you come into a reclining version of the same pose. Exhale, forehead to the ground to your hands. You might want to have some height. You're making room for the belly. I'd say the bigger the belly, just the more space you create. You could again slide that folded up, rolled up pillow or blanket under your right hip, front left thigh. I could place some extra height underneath my forehead so that I have enough space to relax the head. Coming down a little lower works. You could use your own fists or your own hands as the support. few more breaths, come back to that big two-part breath. Inhale down towards the lower part of the lungs. Exhale out through the nose or mouth. Every breath in, go a little bit lower. Inhale a little more deeply. Exhale fully. Till you're inhaling right down towards the center of the earth, like beyond your own ankles, feet, and toes. Walk your hands up and under your shoulders. If you're in pigeon, step your right foot back. Du pigeon, recule les pieds droits, chien inversé. Si vous utilisez un support, vous pouvez ramener la jambe arrière pour venir trouver une posture assise. Et essayez l'autre côté. Je soulève la jambe droite, j'allonge la jambe droite vers l'arrière. Look back, make sure your right foot is lined up with your right hip. It's normal that one side is just different, tighter than the other. Find the angles that make sense. Peut-être déplacer genou gauche un peu plus vers l'extérieur. Peut-être avancer l'avant-jambe gauche un peu plus vers l'avant. And without leaning all the way to your left, try inhaling your arms up overhead. You can try anything that feels good across the shoulders and chest. So the belly, the front body stretches without you feeling like you're overstretching, and the back body still feels wide. I'm going to bend one elbow at a time. You want to do whatever you want to do, go for it. Your body will likely have better ideas than me. So we listen in and we continue to follow. Feel free to balance the back bend with a gentle forward fold. On peut marcher les mains vers l'avant, front au sol sur un bloc. Même pas un bloc, un livre où les poings l'un par-dessus l'autre. Adjust the weight, shift around so that you feel like you're where you need to be. You may be exploring again the spaces that feel most tight, least comfortable to begin. And then exhale a little more deeply. And say inhale even more deeply and exhale loud. Exhale in a way that helps you open across the hips, but also soften across the shoulders and the upper back and the neck and the muscles of the face. Détendez même l'arrière de la crâne. Walk your hands up. You can come back to down dog, even take a final flow if you're into it, or you can lean to your left side seat, swing your right leg around, come back to your cross-legged seat on your support. And then sit. You can keep the height under your seat if you need it. Needing it means, si je m'assois et les genoux sont beaucoup plus hauts que les hanches, je peux garder le support en dessous les fesses. J'aimerais diriger les genoux vers l'extérieur pour nourrir les hanches. So hip nourishing pose. Baddha Konasana. If my knees are high and I'm behind myself, then to come forward I'm just rounding my back. And I'd like to feel more like hip opening. That's why I'm bringing my hands to the floor behind me and I'm lengthening or lifting from the lower back. Avec chaque inspiration, j'allonge. Je peux penser à avancer si le bas du dos reste assez allongé. So I'm lengthening, lifting all the way from the lower back as I keep my seat pretty anchored. The hands might touch the feet The torso might come down further. If the belly is of a size you need to move your feet away from you, go ahead. Mais on n'est même pas obligé d'avancer. Je peux également garder le dos droit. Puis pour vrai, je touche, j'ouvre très bien au niveau des hanches avec le dos droit aussi. I'm going to go ahead and inhale, lift up. Exhale, take a cross-legged position. You remember the one you started in, you can bring the opposite leg forward and you can again elevate your seat if that helps you find the tall spine. Menton incliné toujours vers la poitrine, comme signe que votre regard se dirige toujours vers l'intérieur. Et si vous voulez, une main gauche peut-être sur votre cœur, main droite sur votre ventre. Maybe find your breath moving more fully than it was 60 minutes ago, or more fully than it was earlier today. We can just acknowledge the effects of our practice, the effects of our breath with gratitude. If you'd like, you close your practice in the way we opened, with the sound of one Aum. You don't have to sing it, but you're welcome to. Go ahead, inhale for Aum. Doucement, ouvrez vos yeux. Pour la posture finale, si vous êtes toujours à l'aise couché sur votre dos, on peut se coucher sur le dos, Shavasana, les pieds écartés à la largeur des hanches et les mains qui font face au plafond, les bras chaque côté. Lorsque ça ne devienne plus confortable, like you'll know when it's not comfortable. Not comfortable means like you feel woozy right away, or it makes you feel dizzy, or you just don't feel good. Like until you're, as long as you're happy on your back, I'd say, why not lie on your back? Even if, you keep feeling happy on your back. If you're not happy on your back, or you're concerned, you're worried about it, you can lie on your left side. L'alternative, c'est de se coucher sur le côté gauche. You can bring a pillow under, in between your thighs rather, and maybe a blanket or another pillow under your head. You can take your right hand to your belly and close your eyes. So it's not necessarily a place that we want to fall asleep in. Just like our opening pose, Supta Baddha Konasana, this one is a deeply restorative